This is my favorite part of the form, writing the questions. I am going to make a form for our upcoming department luncheon. So I'm going to call this luncheon. There we go. And the form to tell me what you want to bring. All right. So my first question is going to be a short answer question, which means people could type in 1 or 2 words here, and I want them to write their first name. Of course, I'm also going to want their last name. So did you see that button I clicked right there? I clicked the duplicate button, and then that made another copy here. I'm just going to change this to last name. So that is a short answer type of question right there. It lets them type in just a few words. Let's see. I think I want to add another question. So I'm going to click this add question button. And this time I am going to use a paragraph question. And what I'm going to ask them to do is share your recipe with us. Now you'll notice my first 2 questions were required. That's one of my defaults. I think I'm going to leave that required, but you know what? Maybe somebody doesn't want to share their recipe because maybe it's secret. I'm going to make this one not required. Okay. If they want to share their recipe with us, they can. So next, I am going to give them a multiple choice question, which is the default, and I'll say, what category of food are you bringing? Let me give them a few choices. Main dish, side, a dessert, or drinks. There we go. All right, I'm going to add other there in case they have something that I haven't thought of. All right, let me add another question. Let me do a checkbox here. You know, on the multiple choice, they could only choose one there. They can only choose one of those. I'm going to do a checkbox question, and I'm going to ask, check all that apply for your dish. Okay, vegetarian, vegan, paleo, keto. Let's see, what else could I have? Soy-free, dairy-free, nut-free, gluten-free. And you know what? Other. There we go. So they can tell us all of those things that are true here. If they want, they could check all of those boxes. Is it possible to check all those boxes? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to add another question. And for this one, I am going to do a drop-down question. Let me show you how a drop-down question works. This is a lot like a multiple choice, except for it's really great when you have a long list, like because you don't want to display a ton of multiple choice choices, but you could have a drop-down with lots and lots of choices. So I'm going to say select your department. Let's see, we'll have the math department, we'll have the ELAR department, we'll have music, art, they might be in the same department, I'm not sure. We're going to have Kate. We're going to have social studies, science. See what other departments I have. Foreign languages. Let's see. Is computer science department? We'll say that it is. I'm not sure. Let's see what other departments I have. I'm so sorry if I'm forgetting your department right now. You really do important work, even if I'm forgetting your department. Special education. I am sure there are other departments in here as well, so I do apologize if I forgot yours. But what this is going to do, I'll just show you with a preview real quick. See, there's one box here. They click this and that whole list pops up. So I could make this as long as I wanted to, really. Now, if I want to go back to edit, I'm going to click my pencil. Anytime you want to see how your form is looking, you can click this little preview button there like I just did. So that kind of shows you how this is different, yet similar to a multiple choice question. All right, so next let's try a file upload. I'm going to add a question. Oh, you know what? Did I add my question in the wrong spot? I sure did. It's at the top. Watch this. I'm going to grab my dots, and I'm going to drag it down. Dragging it down to the bottom where I want it to be. There we go. All right, it's in the right spot. So let me do a file upload question. And I'm going to need to give them some directions here. I'm going to say, please submit a photo of your dish. This is another one. I'm not going to make this required. If you want, you can make it only specific file types. You can make a maximum file size, whatever you want. The form can accept up to 1 gigabyte of files, which is pretty impressive. You could also allow them to submit more than one file. I only want one picture of their food, though. I don't want people going overboard. All right, so we've got that. Let me add a linear scale. I feel like this is an important question. I'm going to say, how spicy do you like your food? Okay, so 1 is going to be not spicy, and 5 is going to be burning hot. There we go. So this is going to be a scale like from 1 to 5, and they'll get to choose where they are on that to tell me how spicy they like their food. Always important to ask. Let's add another question here. Let's see. We just did our linear scale. Let's do a multiple choice grid. This is really kind of neat. So multiple choice grid. We're going to say, what are your thoughts on the following dishes? Okay, so row 1, I'm going to have, oh, hang on. This is not a multiple choice grid question that I want for this. I actually want a checkbox grid. There's a difference. The checkbox, they can check more than one. The multiple choice, they can only check one. I'm going to let them check more than one here, and you'll see why. Here's my options. I'm going to let them say whether the dish is healthy, whether the dish is tasty, and whether the dish is visually appealing, and whether it is affordable. There we go. All right. And here's some dishes for them to evaluate. Oatmeal, steak, mac and cheese, salad, sushi, burgers, and ice cream sundaes. All right. I'm going to preview this again so that you can see how this looks. It's going to make a grid, and they're going to choose which of those characteristics apply for each item. Isn't that cool? So we could say that oatmeal is healthy, and that it is tasty, and that it is affordable, but you know what? Not visually appealing. Of course, that's your opinion. That's my opinion. You could give me your opinion, and I could collect all sorts of opinions here. And they can check as many boxes as they want because they are check boxes. Yeah. Let me go back to edit. Okay, and now I'm going to add that multiple choice grid question. The difference for the multiple choice grid is that they can only choose one for each one. And did I put it at the top again? Sure did. Let me see those little dots. Dragging it on down. Here we go, all the way to the bottom. Yeah, there we go. All right. So multiple choice grid. I'm going to have them do a little bit of ranking here. Please rank these venue options. All right. So where are we going to have this? In the library, in the cafeteria, or a picnic in the courtyard? That's the one I want. First column is my first choice, second choice, and third choice. Okay, I'm going to preview that so you can see what that looks like. Okay, library, they can only choose one here. They have to decide. Okay, going back to edit, and it asks me this because it's saying, you have some answers here. Are you sure you don't want to submit? No, I'm just playing around. This is just experimenting. So I do not want to save those changes. Now remember the last few times I just clicked add question when I was at the top of the form? That's why it added my question to the top of the form. So I'm going to go down to the bottom this time. I'm going to click on my bottom question, and then I'm going to click add question. Ta-da! It's in the right spot. Okay, so we did our multiple choice grid and our text box grid. Let's add a date. Now, the form is automatically going to collect the date. I don't need to ask them for the date on which they submitted the form. So instead, I'm going to say, when do you want to have our luncheon? There we go. And then my next question is going to be the time. At what time do you want to have our luncheon? There we go. All right. And again, the form will collect the date. It will also collect the time. I don't need to ask them for the day or the time. The form will tell me the truth. Even if they don't tell you the truth, the form will. Okay, so we did that. Let's see. I think we got all the basic question types in here. So let's talk about how to send this beautiful form. I'm going to preview it one more time, see if it looks good. Yes, this is how I want it to look. Beautiful. Oh, we could make it a little bit prettier. Check this out. I'm going to click on the little theme button here. And this is so fun. I'm going to choose image for my header. All right. And I want food and dining. Oh, look at this. Look at this group of people here eating this delicious meal. This is what our faculty luncheon is going to be like right there. Doesn't that look so sophisticated? Okay, so that's the one I'm going to choose there. You can play with the colors and make it look pretty. Once you like it, you're going to click to send it to people. To have them take it, you click the send button. And there's actually quite a lot of options for you in here. The first option is to send it via email. So you could type in email addresses here. I'm going to send it to myself. There we go. I've invited you to fill out a form. I could change that message and say, tell me what you want to eat. I could even include the form right in the email if I wanted to, if I'm sending it via email. Okay, then I can also add collaborators if I want somebody to help me build this form. That's what that's for. I'm probably most of the time going to send these via a link. I can just copy this link. If I want, I can get a shorter link. Both of them work. Then I can copy and paste that and send that wherever I want. And I could even get some embed code if I wanted to, except for not for this one. This one can't be embedded because it has file upload questions in it. If you want, see the Twitter and the Facebook icon? You can share your form directly to Twitter or Facebook from here. So lots of nice sharing options for you. Now this is all if for sharing with people who you want to fill out your form. Sometimes you might want to share the form with somebody else who's going to use it. In that case, remember that we also have this add collaborators button. So I could add a partner to work with me on this form. Maybe I'm going to add my friend Amber, and we can work together, right? If you want to send a copy of the form, like maybe your colleague loves this form. She says, wow, your luncheon form is so wonderful. I want to use that to plan my wedding. Okay, I'm glad you like it. So then what I would do is I would take the URL in the address bar in the Omnibox up here. I'm going to take that. I'm going to make a copy of it. So I'm doing Control C. I'm copying that. And you know what? Let's see. Let me just show you how I would draft an email. I was going to email this to a friend. I'm writing a pretend email right now in Google Docs. Dear friend, here is the form you requested. This will make a copy for you. Okay. And then when I send them that link, watch this. See the word edit? I'm going to take the word edit and I'm going to change it to the word copy. There we go. Now watch what happens when I click on it. Ta-da! It makes a copy of the form for them. Now they have their own copy. They can change it and it won't mess up my form, which is very important. So that's how you make a form and send it. And I'll show you again the way that you send a link to a form. You just go back to the form itself. Oh, there we go. Now it has a title. Copy that address and then paste it where you want. And you're going to take the word edit, and change it to copy. That will give you a force copy link. Then anybody can use your wonderful form.